Hello. Been a little while. Nice to see y'all. Thanks for clicking on the video. If we haven't talked, y'all haven't seen my videos before, my name is Kevin, or online I go by Cheese Slice, which is kind of a story for a different time. But yeah, we're doing the cheap bike build off, hosted by Matt the Mullick Mechanic. I'll be honest, I originally heard of this through Second Life Bike, so I have to give him a huge shout out. Here we are. This is a Haro Escape 7000. That's what they call it. It's kind of covered right here. But yeah, 7000 series. It's a really odd bike. Even has looks like originally from Mrs. B's, Yuma, Arizona. Looks like, except for this magical seat, looks all stock for the most part. I mean, obviously they added a rear rack that's going to come off, but I believe it does come with the suspension fork. It's seen better days. It's missing this beautiful decal that I'll put a photo up of. So that's kind of a bummer, but I just love this tube shape. And I was talking to Corey in Northwest Hub. Hey, Corey. And yeah, we both agreed it gives drop bar, it gives gravel bike vibes. So got some big plans. Already got some parts that I'll show you, but definitely have some parts to still search for. So this might be maybe a 3-part series, at least 2. So this part is for sure, breaking the bike down, showing off originally,
A few moments later.
cheap bike build off event. You could say recording area, which I think is an amazing idea. So that was easy to wrap up that little rant into a nice button for maybe the Kevin who's editing right now. Break the bike down, clean it, put on the parts. Maybe another one, finding some parts that I need to finish the build, completing the build and showing off the bike. 100 that this one will definitely be before the submission date, because I want to make sure that I have a video kind of to really show off the bike. So if people are looking at it in the bracket, maybe that helps me a little bit. And then potentially a fourth one with something cycles, that group ride, that whole little shebang, showing off everyone's bikes, that whole thing. I think that'd just be really, 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 really fun. So 3 to 4 videos for sure. Going to kind of be pretty busy this month and pump them out. The Diamondback, which I'm not sure how visible it is in the background, but that was going to be the next video. Some of you seen on Instagram, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me. But gonna take a break because obviously Max kind of dropped on the 8th. Today is the 11th. He dropped on the 8th, like, yo, cheap bike build off, let's do it. And I saw it last year and was like, oh, I really want to do this. But I held off because I knew I didn't have enough experience, I felt like. So yeah, we're ready. I literally just finished building up basically my dream 90s MTB build. So I feel like I've got that fire in me still, and I did it successfully, really with no problem. So I'm very, very excited to hop into this. Let's start to break this bike down a little bit and clean it up. Try to save everything we can. And then once it's broken down and it's time to put on the couple parts that I have so far, we can talk a little bit more. One thing I want to say, this seat post, pristine. Very, 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 very fortunate about that, and hopefully I'll show a better video of it. This seat post is so sweet. The way it mounts, very cool. All right, took everything off that I will be taking off, at least for now. Got like this, I didn't realize there was a stem extender on it, but I got all these really nice spacers we're gonna use still. This bottle cage, maybe I can spray paint black. I think that might look good as an accent. I mean, it's a good bottle cage, but you can see how it sucks. Everything used to be that anodized purple, and looks like, you know, just through use, it all got kind of worn off. But so yeah, maybe this black. These will probably just get put kind of in storage, kind of the parts bin type stuff. It's at least cool that it's all branded, so I'll keep it because I have the Haro bike. So put that in the storage. This is actually kind of nice, even though the bolts are rusted on it. Never hurts to have a rack. If I ever wanted to do some budget touring or whatever, most bikes have the ability to fit a rear rack, so that's really nice. This ew. So anyway, yeah, pull those things off. Now let's look at what parts I have to put on. All right, about an hour later, got everything we need to get off. I do need to do one thing that I'll explain in a second, technically, but I can't complete it today, so either way, it doesn't really matter. What that is, as you noticed, took the fork off because, ta-da, I have a rigid fork. So I'm not sure the exact sizing, like how it'll look on it yet. I'll do that in a moment. We can look together. But yeah, super clean, super simple. Bro, shout out Northwest Hub. $40. That's how much they sold this to me. Granted, I may or may not have gotten a disc brake 26-inch wheel for $60. So that kind of makes sense pricing wise, but it's just crazy how much these like co-op type bike shops are able to like charge, and it really proves like how ridiculous it is that people are out there spending like thousands on bikes when this shit's about to be beautiful for 175, which again obviously is the point of the cheap bike build off, and I just love that. So not gonna ramble. Beautiful, amazing, can't wait to put that on. And the next thing, which I'm very excited for, obviously you can't see right now, but seat post is gone. Oh, let's see if I can get it closer. Bro, look at that. With the whole monster gravel build, hopefully this will kind of tie it together. Go focus. Looks very sleek. Love it. I'm super excited. So I'll put this on real quick. We'll just kind of like, I need to get the crown race off of that fork, the suspension fork, put the brakes on this fork, and then we'll be done for today. So I'll do that real quick. Honestly, maybe I save that for the next video just so I can upload this. Either way, it'll either be done right now or I'll wrap up the video. Let's go. So at least with what we have currently, I still need to get the crown race on this, then put the brakes on. Need to figure out if the 3x7 shifters work. The front derailleur 100% does, which is kind of, if you work on these bikes, you know, kind of a rarity. So that's amazing. The rear does not shift at all, which is kind of funny. It's usually the opposite. But anyway, so got to check that out, figure out what's going on with that. If they are working, I am most likely going to use a pair of Surly corner bars. Let me grab them. So because we're trying to save cost and realistically, like full transparency, after the cheap bike build, I will still most likely, like if I'm not able to afford it for the challenge, I'll probably still put drop bars on this bike and probably even upgrade the drivetrain to make it like kind of like a real gravel bike if it fits. But currently, we're gonna run these, and maybe I love these and I keep these on. Um, I tried them on the Diamondback, as some of you might have seen through Instagram and things like that, and they're cool. They just the Diamondback, the reach was too, the fork was too short, I guess you could say, right? I was kind of having to bend over too far, and it was like really painful. So I'm hoping all the way up here, move my arm up here will be good. I'm hoping. I'm hitting that. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I mean, at the end of the day, right, it kind of is a little bit about aesthetics, and I'm going to do my best to be truthful about this stuff. So if the bike is not comfortable, I don't necessarily want to be like, oh, it's built, when I know in my head, like I would never ride it like that. So I want it to be rideable. That's the goal, right? There's even a group ride, like the something cycles that I'm going to go on. So I want to make sure it's enjoyable. Got some thinking to do, got a little bit of bargain hunting to possibly record for the next part, or possibly just, you know, wrapping up the build in general. Got a couple of things to figure out. Thankfully, this bike has been like fairly issue free so far. There haven't really been any like big discoveries that have really scared me. So that's been wonderful. Trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I feel like that's really it. We just got to decide kind of the big thing is the cockpit, what we're doing there. And then, you know, that kind of decides our money. So if we go Surly, these I picked up from someone for $30. I've had them for a little bit. I've used them on like multiple bikes. So I'd say 25, I think is fair, because they're still nice bars. They're still in really good shape, but they've been used a lot. I don't think I could get maybe more than, I think I'd pay probably 25 for these in Northwest Hub, something like that. So I have about 75 left. I want to save maybe 15 to 20 for cables, the star nut that I needed for the fork, things like that. That adds up to $6-7 here and there for cables and all that stuff. So I think, let's just say now $20. I need that. So with this, that'd be $45 total. I'd have 30 left. With the drop bar setup, if I'm doing $20, that means I have $55. That means I have $55. I have a drop bar that I literally paid like $5 for at Northwest Hub. So like $5 for the bars. So $50 left. So I'd have $50 to figure out braking and shifting. It's not undoable, but I just don't know if it's worth forcing that for the challenge, because I think this vibe might actually be kind of sick, honestly, and like matches. So we'll see. I can go in circles about this for forever. I love talking to you guys. I love just being with bikes, making content. This is kind of like the perfect scenario for me. It feels like I really appreciate that Second Life Bikes, at the end of their video, they're like, hey, if you're an aspiring content creator, you're someone who's kind of trying to make your name in the scene, this is the place to do it. This is the time to do it, and that kind of hyped me up. Like I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. So I really appreciate anyone who stuck around this whole time. I really hope you enjoy my build and are getting excited like I am. But yeah, that's enough rambling. I need to edit this video tonight so it's ready for today is the 11th, so it'll be posted on the 12th. And as of that day, there will be 16 days left. And bike shops are closed on Sunday and Monday. So there is at least 4 days out of the 16 where parts are basically unobtainable. So yeah, I'm not stressed. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Deuces.